They've been good. Maybe I'm making them complicit. Yeah, just to take that Marwan Atapattu story. There's something about Sri Lankan captains. Before him, the first captain to get that team to this country was Bandula Varnapura. Read that story. Please read that story. Remember the name? Like Ian Bishop says, remember the name. That name, remember? Bandula Varnapura. Please read.
Absolutely, I will go on to read that story as well. What a fascinating time we are having here in the comm box as well, and I hope all those who have tuned in, who are listening to us, are enjoying the anecdotes as well. Meanwhile, that's the end of 7 overs, isn't it? And after 7, the Smashers are 56 for 4. 37 runs is what they need of the last 3. It's going to be a nail-biter, that's for sure.
Marwan Atapattu was scintillating against spin. He showed how spin is to be played. He would almost invariably get to the pitch of the ball, step out and play.
Oh dear. In fact, there was still 1 ball left in that over. So after 7, the Smashers are 58 for 4. Yes, they are 58 for 4. So beg your pardon, I got it a bit wrong.
When we have intoxicating discussions like the ones we are having, we tend to lose focus on the match at hand now, but that's still okay. Still okay. Now it is a mountain to climb. 35 from 18, and those extra balls that they bowled are coming back to haunt them. They may still win. The last time I was here, I do not remember the name of the player. He hit three sixes in the last over and won the match for his team. Lightning strikes twice? I do not know.
Well, modern day cricket, 35 of 18. Generally, you tend to favor the batting side, don't you? That is how the game has changed over the last few years.
And a World Cup winning team made 183.
Well, how much has cricket and time changed, hasn't it? At one point in time,
Rohit Sharma thrice scored what a whole team would score. Hitman. And that discussion I was having with Rohit before you came in, the number of runs that are happening these days are because of the Gavaskars of the day didn't have these bats. Today even miss hits are going for sixes. If you've seen Kapil Dev, I had the privilege of seeing him in action with these bats.
Oh, this time around there's a big appeal, but the umpire doesn't look convinced. The fielding side thinks they've got their man, but the umpire doesn't. Went for the shot there, went for the drive. Missed it, but was there an outside edge?
Dinesh Kumar was actually celebrating. He was so sure that he got his wicket. Look at his body language. He was first sure, he thought the umpire will give it anyway, and then baffled why it wasn't given.
It was almost as if Dinesh Kumar was pointing towards the umpire. Come on, raise your finger, man, that's out. But the umpire said, sorry bro, that isn't the case.
It looked like Dinesh Kumar said, I've done my job, now you do yours. The umpire, according to him, didn't do the job. But he's been bowling brilliantly. The full length, flighting the ball. When you flight the ball, you get bite, you get purchase from the surface, which is why Chahal gets a lot of his wickets.
We've seen almost all the spinners giving the ball a lot of flight today, understanding the fact that there is some sort of help from the surface, and that's why flighting the ball will get them those wickets, and they have produced wickets as well.
It is heartwarming to see Suyash Sharma do it. Flight the ball. You hit him for a 6, he'll flight it again.
Trust me, it takes a lot of courage to flight the ball. It's not easy. When you get wickets, you'll say, wow, what a ball. But more often than not, you'll get hit out of the park, especially in T20 cricket. That's why it's a lot of courage that is needed.
More in his context because he can lose his place in the team.
What a shot down the ground, but only a single will be cut off by the fielder at long on there. That brings the end to another over. After 8, the Smashers are 65 for 4. The chase is getting a little more difficult for them from here on.
There was one match in which Murali Karthik was doing commentary. He said the same thing that we said in the last ball. He said, what a good shot. I'm sorry, it didn't connect well and just a single to the batter. So it can happen to the Murali Kartiks of the world. It can happen to us as well.
Yeah, remember, I think it happened to Vivek Razdan as well. During a Hindi stint that he was having, the batter had hit a shot very well and Vivek Razdan said, Awaz! Awaz! Achhi nahi aayi hai. So he just changed it at the last moment there, Vivek Razdan. I distinctly remember it.
My friend used to say, Tera Kutta. The moment somebody reads, Aata hai, you want to leave now or you want to leave after the 9th over? After this over. तुम आ जाओ ना? अच्छा, समा. No, he will be post match. No big deal. अच्छा, post match इसके बाद. Post match presentation. करो ना, करो. Have fun. I've had my fill.
Right then, last couple of overs coming up. We're going to see some riveting action, that's for sure. Because the batters are now trying to up the ante here, because all they have to do is stonk a few balls out of the park and get a few runs here, because at this moment, even though the Smashers might look a bit behind in the game, one big over might just turn the tide around. And turning the tide around in the commentary box now is Rohit Ganguly, who has joined me.
Thank you, Yash. Thank you for your kind words and definitely the warm welcome. And as you mentioned, it's now a rocket race to the finish line. So whoever gets the revs up early gets to walk away with the bragging rights. Swing of the willow straight to the long off field.
Of the last over to get, they might still fancy their chances, but anything more than that, it's going to be very tough for them.
This partnership is now of 19 of 13 balls. They have wickets in hand, so that is what exactly would be giving them the hope. Wanted to go for the chopper strike, revolutionized by the great MS Dhoni himself as he won the World Cup for India with that signature strike of his. But again, the kind of power that this man has up his wrists is not similar to what Rishi Raut had up his. So all he could manage was a single.
And now that legacy of helicopter shot being taken forward by Rashid Khan, isn't it? He plays those shots with such ease and grace, doesn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, he has turned into a virtuoso of the T20 sport, starting with the ball in his hands, with the willow in his arms. I mean, he's an absolute treat for the cricketing fans. So I reckon he's out there for greatness. Maybe in the international circuit he's lacked slightly because of Afghanistan's cricketing stature. But the way he's been taking his country's cricket forward, particularly in the modern era where cricket in Afghanistan has been tattered by politics as well, it's absolutely awe-inspiring.
Such a beautiful story, isn't it, that of Rashid Khan. Meanwhile, this might... No, doesn't run away for a boundary. Will only get them a couple of runs. It was a good struck shot, wasn't it? But runs are not coming for the Smashers. Ideally, they would have wanted this over to turn around to be a big one so far. But all they've managed of the first 4 deliveries is 5 runs.
Yeah, kudos to Mathan M. He's sticking to his own guns. He's maintaining that line in length that usually cramps the batter for room. That is why he's so particularly good. Just talking about good balls. Oh, he bowled to his field. A direct hit was needed and the batter would have been gone.
Yes, Siva Kumar had almost given up. He knew had the ball hit the stumps, he would have had to walk back to the dugout. But what a phenomenal over this is turning around to be from Martin. Almost all the deliveries, he's pitched it right in the block hole, making sure doesn't give any room, any space for the batter to free his arms.
A pretty disciplined show from the bowlers, to be honest. There's those 8 extras. which still is significant. Yeah, wanted to go for that lap shot, but was not there. An offer pace from Matanem does the trick now. 9 gone, 71 for 4. Oh, actually, he's got a wicket, I reckon. Has he? Oh, not exactly. He just celebrated that it was a dot ball. A phenomenal over indeed. 9 gone, 71 for the loss of 4. Final over of the game, and as Yash takes a well-deserved breather after a pretty prolonged stint in the comm box, it'll be me, Rohit, to take you through the final over. Is there a late twist in the tale? Well, we do not know. Only time shall reveal the answer. I reckon Alfred Hitchcock was watching the game from heavens, and he probably would have had the script for his next movie. One of the best directors of whodunit stories, of paranormal stories, and no matter how many he has formed all over the ages, it would fall short. And right now, the kind of games that we have in IPL, almost every other game goes down the wire in the final over. And obviously, it's quite obvious that cricket has been evolving, as we were having the discussions earlier in the tournament, or rather in the game. Final over, final 6 balls, and 23 required. We have seen this being chased down earlier, not in Pondicherry cricket, of course, but in the IPL. But as modern day cricket rises, the transcendence of modern day cricket has been marked by all possible shenanigans and whims of the cricketers. Vinay Pratap with that final over. Yeah, this time fires it onto his pads. He glances it down the leg side. Will get nothing more than a single. Or rather, it's not Vinay Pratap. There's been a change of bowling. The quick single here. Smashers now will have their work cut out. Or rather, it's Vinay Pratap actually. Apologies for the same. I reckon I've been too carried away by the thrill and intensity of the battle that happens to the best of us, you know. But nonetheless, back in the action. 5 balls to go. 21 required. Sivakumar S. He'll have to try something extraordinary. Fires it onto the pads. And he smashes it across the ropes. Great shot. They say that if you're bowling to an Indian batter, even a number 11 Indian batter, you don't fire it onto your pads. He'll smack it even with his eyes closed. It's bread and butter for him. And that's exactly what the batter did. He's been there for a while, and the equation comes closer now. 17 from 4. May look Herculean, but it's modern day cricket. And we have seen magic happen. It's all about the belief. It's all about the confidence in yourself. And it's about the execution. Don't try something fancy. Go for your basics. Vinay Pratap, 3rd ball of the over. Tosses it up. He's taken the aerial route. Has he got the distance? He hasn't. 1 bounce to the fielder. They wanted a second. They won't get it. Great fielding, keeping things tight. Once again, sticking to the rudimentary. No need for a wicket here, they know. 16 needed of 3, so probably 3 sixes or a couple of boundaries and a couple of sixes and a boundary needed. The rivalry heating up. Fourth ball coming up here. Partnership 30 of 21. Yeah, goes for that reverse scoop up in the air. Fielder coming underneath it. It's a keeper at the end of the day who'd pouch it. A shot that only one man has so far, rather 2 people in the international cricketing circuit has played with perfection. One of them being Surya Kumar Yadav and the other being Dinesh Karthik. Rishi Rao definitely not being the 3rd who's able to play it with perfection. Ends up scooping the ball into the air, a reverse scoop. And probably a cinch for the wicketkeeper with his gloves on. And this game has now spiraled out of control for the Smashers, unless there is another late twist in the tail in the form of a no ball. Well, we have seen that happening. So again, like we say, that do not say anything unless that final ball is bowled. And this game still remains like maybe a no ball and a 6 comes up in that. And we'll once again have our hopes up extremely high. Look at that shot. Never got into the position. No balance whatsoever. definitely no weight behind its strike as well pays the price. So maybe in case of a reverse scoop, the first and the foremost is your position and your balance. If both of them goes wrong, it all goes wrong. Yeah, this time that's a ferocious strike. Has it cleared the fence? Oh, it has. Just a late lunge of the bat, but I reckon slightly late than they would have wanted. It's a legal delivery, so 1 ball, and they still need 10 runs to win. But a great strike from Arunachalam V. He would take a lot of heart from that shot. That is what the intent should be. Don't give up. At least take the battle as close as you can, because this is a marathon league. A total of 59 matches will be played in this league. So net run rate will be a very crucial factor in the latter stages. Yeah, this time, once again, tried to glide it, but no connection. And that is game, set, match for the Smashers, or rather for the Eagles, as they secure the bragging rights by 9 runs. A phenomenal game of cricket to announce